Is Buddy Ryan getting a fair shake from his bosses on the Eagles? How about from the media? Is it really a batting race for Lenny Dykstra if the other guy is already at the finish line? The International Olympic Committee has selected its site for the 1996 Summer Olympics. Atlanta? Why won't the Eagles honor maybe their best team ever? I'm your host, Angelo Cataldi, and this is the Great Sports Debate. That's how it looked when we all started the Great Sports Debate over 5 years ago. It's an amazing story. A bunch of clown sports writers go in and convince a television executive that we should have our own TV show. That's what it looked like behind us. Lenny Dykstra, the old uniform, not even spitting yet back then. And now here we are, over 200 episodes and some amazing memories. Here's an example of some of the amazing people we've had right here.
This is the ugliest uniform in professional sports, bar none.
I'm going to try and put this delicately. I personally think you're out of your mind.
Okay.
I like UNLV this year and after they go to court next year.
Once again, I am correct and the other three are wrong. This seems to be a trend.
Morganti. He's marvelous. He's there.
You like
got
him?
A great hairdo.
Right.
He's Italian.
Yep.
He's doing a marvelous. He holds the mic well. The key to hold the mic is you got to hold the mic.
And he does.
He doesn't do one of those.
No.
Like that. But
Right.
He's got it like
Okay,
that. He's
no.
doing a really good job.
Here's my impersonation of Al on television.
Glen Macnow? What a bum. He's out of here. Jayson Stark?
Look at that behind us. That's where a lot of those famous people that you just saw on tape sat and talked with us. That's our old set. We did probably over 150 of our shows right there. We're at CCI Communications in Malvern. And look what we dug up. These two boys have been sitting on the set, believe it or not, almost the entire 5 years, waiting for the cameras to roll. This, of course, Mike Missanelli is the editor-in-chief of Fan Magazine and works afternoons at WIP with Steve Fredericks. And this is Al Morganti, who works at ESPN as their hockey analyst and also works with me in the morning on WIP.
Fortunately, yeah.
And I'm Angelo Cataldi. I work the morning shift at WIP Radio. And one of the great things about working together with these two true professionals is that we've developed an affection for one another that's amazing. Isn't it, Mike?
That would be totally incorrect, and I think the real story can be told. We don't really like each other. Matter of fact, we can't stand each other. Like right now, Al is aggravating me. Now look at the way he cheapens a $1 million tuxedo outfit, an elegant outfit, with a pair of ratty jeans and a Harley belt. It's a disgrace, frankly.
So more comfortable. This show is supposed to be comfortable, unlike you, who probably spent 3 hours to get the proper watch.
Incorrect. 4 hours.
Does that watch match?
That's 4 hours.
Watch it
All right.
perfectly.
Well,
or fraud.
Please, I got to mention something here, Michael. You can't attack Al because Al probably had as much as anyone. Al and Glen Macnow were the two people
exactly.
that got this show on the air. Why don't you explain what happened?
Sitting around one day and decided we should have a TV show.
Right.
Will there be anybody stupid enough to put us on? I said, there's millions of stupid people in the world. And we approached somebody at PRISM, and they said, well, we got nothing to lose here. We're going to, these guys are pretty big names. They're about to embark on huge success stories here and there. We'll get to them early. Right. And after making 50 cents an hour for 4 years, now we're making it big time.
Right, and we just said, we don't have any TV experience, but the guy Missanelli, he's done a lot of television. Whatever it is, it really worked. From that day to this one, all we've done is fight. And what we did is we tried to put together some of our best fights for you right now. Watch.
Once again, you guys, this all boils down to an issue of dollars and cents.
Man, it's tough being the voice of reason on this show.
How could you have been around sports all these years and learned nothing?
I am sick and tired of trying to educate you weasels. Likewise,
You know,
he is
you
likewise.
use your radio show every morning
Every
as an
opportunity.
avenue to rip the guy, not the TV show.
No.
Leave him alone.
you
That's
need
not
help.
why we're here.
I'm saying
We're
need
not
help.
here for
I'm
that.
saying
This
I don't
guy,
care.
he cannot be stopped, Angelo.
What?
It's not the officials. He cannot be stopped. When he gets into a zone like he was in Sunday, he doesn't miss. No matter what he does, nobody can stop him.
travels.
He's a great player.
Travels consistently.
That makes him unique in the NBA.
No, I'm telling you right now.
That's great
Michael
because
Jordan.
Dr. J never traveled.
No, he didn't.
Angelo.
That's correct. He did not
Angelo,
travel.
it's not a conspiracy. He's the best.
He's not
great.
the best.
He's
the
unbelievable.
best player in the game today, but he's not necessarily that good for the game today. This really was, in all honesty, this really was probably the most fun week. I've been in this town almost 10 years. It's the most fun I've ever had in one week with so much great stuff going on. Jason?
I really
You've
agree.
been here longer than I have.
I can't ever remember a week like this. I can't ever remember when you couldn't wait to pick up the newspaper in the morning and you couldn't wait to turn on the radio and turn on the TV and just see what was happening next. It was a barrage. And you know what the most amazing thing about it was? All the teams that made it happen, none of them played a game.
That's right.
The team that was actually playing games didn't create any of it, the Phillies.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
5 years from now, which of all these events, the Barkley trade, the Walker signing, the Lindros scenario, 5 years from now, which one of these do we remember?
Lindros, without question.
Let me ask it to you from a business point of view, which is, who on that team do you go out and see now?
Business point
Who
of
do
view.
you,
I go out to
who do
see-
you pay to
that's
see that team?
Doug Moe. That's
Oh,
the key
boy.
word here. I'm
Well,
telling you.
here, let me
Okay.
take
why they did it. You're right there.
Here, let me
He's
give you
right there.
$40 so that I can go see Doug Moe.
Doug Moe.
Pete Rose is a Hall of Fame player. That's all that matters. to
Well,
me.
why should we break the rules to help somebody who broke the rules?
Then you're going to throw the guys out like Ty Cobb who were drunks and bums.
That's
that are already in there?
retroactive. The drunks and skunks that are in there, we didn't have paragraph 4 in the bind. Do away with paragraph 4, and then I vote for Pete.
Baseball is a sport that's better and different than the other sports for one specific reason, because it deals with the mind. Baseball is a game that's played 30% on the field, 70% in the mind. It's slow. It's only slow to people with slow minds like Al Morganti.
You look
To
so
s-
nice in that
to-
outfit, by
to
the way.
bright people, to smart people, it's a wonderful way to spend a day. And this is, I can remember, on
ridiculous.
opening day every year.
absurd.
On opening day every
Roger
year,
Angel.
I remember
Here we
what
go.
it was like
Religion.
the first time I walked up
Bring
a
the
ramp.
incense.
Now,
in a
shut
ball.
up.
Would you shut up? I'm
Why don't
trying
they
to
have
say
stained
something
glass
about
windows?
baseball
Why don't they
that
just-
idiots like you
Why
don't
don't
understand.
you just put a stained glass window in the vet?
Al,
Because it's a church.
baseball
it's
is a
monument.
special thing
It's a special
that you've
thing.
never been able to see because you're too stupid to see it.
So
all right?
I don't get dressed
a
up-
smart person.
so I don't get dressed
can
up
see
like this and be
I look.
like
This is
an
a
hour-
nice look for me. Let me tell you something right now. This is a better tie than I normally would wear.
Where's your pocket
Think about
protector?
that. My own personal friend, Pat Combs. Pat Combs down in Scranton. When they sent him down to Scranton, they said, Pat Combs cannot throw the ball hard enough anymore. All right? He was clocked the last 2 times in Scranton throwing the ball over 90 miles an hour. But they don't bring him up. They bring up everyone else. They leave Pat Combs down. Why? Because he's a deep thinker like me? I don't know. But he has not been brought up yet. And I was thinking about this. How can I, much like I brought Herschel back to town, bring Pat Combs back to town? Because it's time. It's got to happen. I'm going to do something here now that I never thought I'd do in my life. I'm going to
Talk
make
sensibly.
the ultimate sacrifice. As you may know, I have a major affection for wingtip shoes. As of right this moment, I will not wear another wingtip shoe, ever, until my own personal friend, Pat Combs, is back with the Phillies. And I mean this. They are right there. They will stay there. And we will see you again next week right here. I'm telling you right here. You tell me. Wingtip shoes. We'll see you again next week right here on the Great Sports Debate.
Gosey went through a long, elaborate ritual. He buttoned up his shirt, and he stood up, and he zipped up his pants, and he lit up a cigarette. And then he did something that he does to Fitzpatrick all the time. He turned at him in mock anger and barked this totally objectionable 2 sentences.
This was
that
a joke.
was it.
It was a
was
joke, you're
intended
saying.
as a joke. It certainly was not intended.
Were you there?
I was not there, but I interviewed everybody, and I have witnessed this type of banter and byplay between Bob Brookover, who's another target, and Fitzpatrick all the time.
Somewhere the issue is getting lost here.
Yeah.
To me, the issue is...
The issue is a manager who said something. If you printed all the blue, off-color, off-the-record, incestuous,
Bill,
horrible
it has been
remarks,
established
you'd
that
have the
people
encyclopedia.
the ramifications.
There's no question about that part of it. I agree with that part. I've been in 100 of those pregame sessions with a manager. This, however, was a direct assault on fans of the radio station, which are, in fact, fans of the baseball team.
Does he hate the radio station? Absolutely,
yes,
unequivocally.
Yes, he hates the radio station.
Does he think the fans and the employees sleep with their relatives? No.
The guy is not, then he changed his role 3 weeks into his season. It's got to jerk the guy around.
How the hell do you know?
Because you just know by the way guys act that he's steamed about it.
Oh, Angelo,
I'm willing to bet you he's steamed about it.
Angelo, it's funny you should mention this because I just happen to have Kurt Schilling behind this panel to my left. Kurt, he's here. What a moment. What's going on?
Hey, this is it. Oh, my God. What is this all about?
Let me tell you. I couldn't get a question in. Glenn could hardly get a question in because Angelo was tossing up, not softballs, volleyball questions. You see him here every week and hear him on the radio ripping guys up and down. He comes face to face. He's got holes in the knees of his pants now from kneeling down in front of the guy and honoring him. Everything but Buddha. It was unbelievable. So therefore, Mr. Cataldi, Angelo Cataldi, Weasel of the Week.
The master plan is to try to get Garner as much as possible involved in the games, and they can't do that because he's not practicing.
Let me explain to you what the plan should be, Mr. Football, okay? You got Charlie Garner in the game, and when he's in the game, would you just listen?
See how mad he is? He's mad. See that?
Keep quiet.
He's not listening.
You going to listen?
Keep quiet.
I know you're a big TV star now, okay? But you're still the low man on the totem pole here. All right? Now, you got Charlie Garner in the game, right? 88% of the time he's in the game, he runs a football. Why don't you put Hebron in early? You know, get a little diversification in there. Charlie Garner has forgotten what holes to run in because he doesn't practice?
Michael,
what kind of stupid logic is that?
Michael, take a look at the stat sheet. Hebron was in the second quarter against Washington.
First time he's done it all year.
What do you mean?
Mike,
the point is that he did it.
You can't acknowledge in your head that the Dallas Cowboys are a legitimate team. And I need for you to explain to USA television audience why you can't just bow down and say they're a good team. Why can't you do that?
Because I hate them.
But why?
I hate them with
why
every
do you
fiber
hate
of my being.
Why? Explain this. Because this is like, we'll put you on the psychiatrist's couch here. This could help you.
I don't like the star. I don't like the silver. I don't like the blue. I don't like the hole in the roof. I don't like Tom Landry.
Okay, well, here, I'm going to offer a professional opinion right now. You should be committed. You are a lunatic.
Right.
Okay? That's it. There's no drugs can help you. No therapy can help you. You should be committed.
Oh, man, is that unbelievable? We got a lot more to show you today, but I want to, one of the problems that we've had on this show, I think this is the time to confess it, is that for all the brilliance that we've offered to the medium of television, the great sports debate has never won an Emmy Award. And I know, Al, this is particularly sticking in your craw.
It's a disgrace. We've done remotes, we've had animals, we've had all kinds of special guests, we've had insight, we've had all that great stuff. Guys like Rich Kotite, Randall Cunningham get Emmys, and not us.
Not anything of that. I'm not sure there's any explanation. Mike, any idea at all?
Oh, I think I have the absolute idea why we haven't won an Emmy. 2 words. Howard Eskin.
That Ray Rhodes has the final say on personnel, it will absolutely, positively not happen.
Do you want him or do I want him? I think Ray Rhodes is the guy who's behind the whole thing, and Howard, because Ray actually calls him Howard, is not going to look beyond the show. All right, Howard. The fact of the matter is, Ray Rhodes from day one has known that Randall Cunningham cannot fit this offense. So if Ray Rhodes wants to put out a smokescreen, say this is Jeffrey Lurie's thing, in fact, it's the opposite. Lurie's the guy who's wanted him here.
Can I answer you one simple question?
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to Ray Rhodes about
Yes.
it? Other than that little Mickey Mouse thing we had?
Absolutely.
Stop with that. Have you?
Absolutely.
Wait a minute.
I talked to him last week, as a matter of fact.
Wait a minute.
He called our show.
Yeah.
He called our show during
But he
the break.
talked about the offensive line.
No, we talked about Randall also.
Hold
Okay,
on
what did he say?
Stop it. I want you
What did he
now,
say?
Howard. Listen
No,
to me,
you
all right?
can't have me.
Oh, yeah, let
You
me tell you.
can't have
And
me.
believe me, I'm far too close as it is. He wasn't there to do a news
They
interview
were.
on a shopping network.
He did an interview.
On QVC.
He did
Howard,
an,
how
he did an
stupid
interview.
do you think people are?
This is fine with you.
As long as he does the other things that should be done. He signed almost every autograph that weekend in Cooperstown.
All right, we're going to get to that in a second, believe me.
But-
Mike, get in on that.
Hey, do I?
Howard, I have never seen you more defenseless than you are at this moment.
on the Honeymooners. He's hamina.
Yeah, you got no answer.
You got him.
You really,
just explained to you what he did.
Get the camera on Eskin right now.
I just explained to you what he did. This is coming your way.
It's unbelievable, all right?
They want to shrink it to 16. What are they going to have? Like a bunch of Kate Mosses come into the stadium? They're going to have like a butt sensor? Like right now, Al, Angelo, and myself would probably be allowed in the stadium, right? But how about Howard Eskin? Now we're going to test it right now. I brought a tape measure here. I have a tape measure here. Can we get a volunteer from the audience here?
What is it? What is it?
All right. Now, stand up, please. I want to see if you qualify to go into Beaver Stadium. Young lady, what is your name?
Do you want me to
Susan. Now, Susan, would you measure his butt there, please, for the audience? Okay. Now, what do we have?
Hey, measure it right now. Don't give me
that. What do we got there, Susan?
Oh, that feels good.
21!
That's a bad count.
That's a new world record.
That's a bad count. That's a bad count.
You will never see a Penn State game as long as you live.
That's a world record. Whether you say he doesn't want to cross it or not, he's on the edge.
What is doing the same thing as he does?
Wanting to cross the picket line.
He didn't say he wanted to cross the picket line.
Well, he's told certain people he has.
Who was he told?
Who was he told?
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessary. I assure you.
Are you telling me he's told you he's going to cross the picket line?
Yes.
So he's told you, but he's told his own teammates he wouldn't cross the picket line.
No, he's told some other players he has because other players have called him. The question is not, I don't want to debate that issue.
Well, it's a debatable issue because you're telling me that Lenny Dykstra's going to...
Well, no, the question is, do you believe that there are other players that feel the same way?
That want to cross the picket line?
Well, that are on the edge. Let's put it this way, to make you feel happy, that are on the edge of crossing
the question...
You don't believe there's any other players like that?
That are on the edge?
Right.
Maybe, a few.
Okay, so now I just wanted the answer to that because my next question is, why, when Lenny requested, and I know there's been at least one or two other players that requested a secret ballot to find out the real feelings of players, that the union will not do that?
The union never said they wouldn't do it.
Gene Orza said it's unnecessary.
Because you have to put something on the ballot to vote on. What's the real feelings on what, Howard? On the last proposal?
Well, then put something there and have a secret ballot.
Why would we put something on the table if we don't have a proposal from them? Are we going to make more concessions?
You do have
now?
a proposal because there's something that's already implemented. Now, if you don't like
this
that,
current
fine.
system that was implemented is a '94 system.
All right, guys, this is good, and it's going to be part of our roundtable. It's coming up next. Calm down, Howard, Kurt. It's going to be good. Oh man. Okay, I warned you about this.
That carpetbagger that we had last time, Norman Brayman, was ridiculous. Jeffrey Lurie comes in and he's got the right ideas, the right intention.
This is a segment where you don't take shots, all right? So you can't go 2 sentences without ripping somebody, right? Nothing but, come on now, Howard, positive. You're thankful.
Scoundrel a better word for Norman?
No, bring in the negative.
Lurie coming in, and he's going to do the right thing.
And Howard, you're the third one on my list. I mean that. I was thinking about this.
Be sincere now.
I am sincere. I mean this when I say it, all right? We rip you a lot, but I'm thankful to you because as long as you're around, I won't be the most hated guy in the city. And I really appreciate that. You don't know how much that means to me.
I knew you'd be sincere.
Howard Eskin is my Whiz of the Week. I am tired of Howard promoting himself as a fashion plate. Now, the latest evidence of this is a recent commercial for, I'm sure, a fine clothing company, but this made me sick. Let's roll the tape. Look at this.
Nice suit.
Please.
I think he can be Rick Smits easily in his career. And Rick Smits took Indiana to close. Howard, he's done more in his first 2 years. He's had more double-doubles than Rick Smits ever had.
Right.
Sean Bradley will be a very...
Now. Right.
He's not... To Howard, he played 4 straight good games. Right. He dominated a couple of those games.
I think we're going to see the first time in history the mayor actually makes physical contact with somebody.
That would be good. I would slug him if I were you.
He's my friend.
You are the most annoying guy I've ever seen, Howard. I mean that. I want to be on the record. You are an aggravating guy. You know what? I'm actually starting to sympathize with Kotite being around you. It's unbelievable. This team is waiting to be beaten and will be beaten. It doesn't even matter where they play.
For 6 years, you didn't know the Flyers even existed in this town.
I covered the Flyers.
Ron Hextall from Maryland
I covered them. How did I cover the Flyers?
You are the biggest front-running
Yeah, I'm going to tell you,
homeboy I've ever seen.
I am sorry that you were invited on the show.
Well,
and I am sorry to
I'm
Mr.
here.
Burns, and I'm sorry to the people of Lagoon. I am not working with you.
I'm not.
all right?
You know
you
what?
Are, you
I'm
just,
saving
yeah,
you the
good.
trouble.
Get
I
the
am
hell
out of here. I'm done with
Goodbye
you. I am
and
not
good
working
riddance. All right? That's it. Get him out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Go bleach your hair some more. All right. Sorry we had to start on that note. Just get the hell out of here, will you, doofus?
And my weasel of the week is, and just an addendum to Angelo, who is a stinking, lousy weasel. On a busy night, he made reservations for 8 at a big restaurant and bailed out, too. That's great to leave 8 empty seats in a bit. He's done that. Don't even try it. But that's not why I'm going to get you. You're a weasel because when you covered Buddy Ryan for the Inquirer, when you're carrying your pad and pencil, you buried the guy. Then you get on the air, when you're on the radio, you want him on the air. Buddy, you're great. The Eagles, they're going to win 11. Then they lose. Now they stink. Then they were going to beat Dallas, and they didn't. You are like this. See this fish? Flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop. You are a stinking, lousy weasel.
Hold on. Stop the best of taping. We're going to put this one on there.
You are a stinking efficient you.
Get out of here.
The place is going crazy.
Boy, that thing smells, too. Oh, man, that is awful.
I am so glad we're doing this project because I finally get to ask Michael on camera why. Michael is the producer that decides what guests we have in the Great Sports Debate. And Mike, I've always wanted to know this. Why do you keep bringing Howard back?
Simple. We can't get anybody else. Believe me, if there was another living and breathing human being who could spell sports, he would be on this show.
Well, the reason, you know what I think the reason is that we haven't been able to get anybody else, Mike? Some things happen on this show that people, your dyed-in-the-wool journalists don't want to necessarily be associated with. And it's kind of weird out. I'm talking now about some of the crazy skits and things that have happened here. We really never, when we started the show, planned on doing this. We were just 4 guys sitting up there, in a
Doing
studio.
nothing. Talking about athletes. 4 middle-aged white guys talking about athletes.
Exactly.
What happened?
How'd this happen?
Well, I figured out early I could act better than Mickey Rourke. Mike Missanelli can act better than Richard Gere. You just look funny, so it made for perfect kind of skits and things like that, and we just rolled with everything.
We actually started with the final words, and people would do little things, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And here are the best of our skits.
This we will call St. Leo's. There is St. Leo's, okay? I'm trying to illustrate the competitive edge that some of these people have. Now I'd like you to meet Hawaii Hilo. Now this would be Hawaii Hilo
You don't
in
mind
our
if I lean over here
demonstration
with
for
you,
demonstration purposes. Now here we've got Georgetown and the University of Connecticut. Now you say to yourself, what would make a really good competitive game? I say, this is good competition. Let's go down to the arena now and see what happens. That's why there's no competition. The point of this whole thing is, did you get it? All right.
Wow, that
the
looked
point of
good,
this whole
too.
thing is that you can't play cream puffs because it's not all that competitive.
Hey, your head's on the floor.
There's got to be some symbolic act that we can do to take care of those people. And I said, who embodies Quebec? Why, that would have to be the owner, the lying cheat, Marcel Aubu, who almost stole Eric Lindros. And then I'm thinking, what is it? What do they call Marcel Aubu? My goodness, they call him a melon head. So I went out and I purchased at my own expense a very ripe melon.
Reduced for quick sale.
Reduced for quick sale. And now I'm going to basically symbolically show what I feel about Marcel Aubu. This is dangerous. Don't try this at home, young people. About Marcel Aubu and the Quebec Nordiques. Are we ready?
Drum roll.
Yeah. There you have it, Marcel. That's what we think of you here in Philadelphia.
Hey. Use the other one. We got another ball over there. Use the other ball. Hey.
All right, I want a shot.
That's,
Come on, sissy boy.
Stop that.
I don't know. I don't think you're proving your point too well here.
Ow! Hey, that's not what you're supposed to be throwing it.
Give me that. That's it. That's it. Get out of here. Hi. Now that's the way you handle a situation. All right. We'll be back.
All right, exactly as Jose Canseco did last week. Could it happen if you tried to make it happen? Mike, are you ready? Ready. Angelo, are you ready? All right, let's give it a go. Oh.
Not too good, huh? Not very good.
Wait a minute.
Angelo, you may want to try to do it like a soccer,
I don't
like
want
a
to hit
bounce.
the button. It hurts when it hits the button.
All right, try to make it bounce a little bit, okay? Oh.
What are you doing? I'm not ready. Wait till I'm ready. Hold up until I'm in position.
You in position?
I'm ready.
Get a little loft to that one,
Can't
right?
see it.
Not very
Loft
much.
it up more so I can butt it.
Oh, terrible. Here.
You all right?
Oh.
Wait a second, he's hurt.
Are you okay?
Why did we do this? See what happens? The button here compresses into the middle of my head.
All right,
Jose got hit with a baseball. You're worried about a button?
Come on.
It's just a
show me
tennis
something
ball.
here,
What are you
pal.
going to get hurt?
I'm ready this time.
Oh! Oh! Uh-oh. All right, Angelo.
Hello?
Get up, bud. Ange?
The Sixers come up short in the NBA lottery. What does Harold Katz do now? As of now, it looks like the Phillies will send one player to the Major League All-Star game. Darren Dalton? Who wins the Stanley Cup? Who wins the NBA Finals? Does Kyle Abbott ever win? We've got the answers right here. The U.S. Olympic basketball team is chosen. Hey, where's Shaquille? I'm your host, Glen Macnow. We'll be discussing these issues and more next as Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages presents The Glen Macnow Show. I wrote this book on Charles Barkley, Angelo Publishing, available in bookstores now.
Yes.
All right?
You did.
And on the back, I mentioned that I have a talk show host.
Right.
And it didn't mention you, and you got so upset at that time that you walked out.
Yeah.
Well, we're too mature to walk out.
You are too
we wouldn't, We wouldn't pull a stunt like walking out because we're too much
No,
too
no,
mature for that.
Welcome, everybody, to the Great Hockey Shootout outside the Great Sports Debate. We have a shoot-off. These two guys here will take 3 shots apiece, 3 rounds each. Now, let me introduce the players. 6'5", right wing from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Kurt Schilling, over here to my right. And the little weasel center from Havertown, Glen Macnow. These guys will, right behind this line here, shoot 3 shots at our goaltender over there, cleverly disguised as Al Morganti. We add up for athletic superiority. We add up the totals at the end of the game. We interview the winner and we abuse the loser. So, boys, if you want to start, let's go.
As an added inducement, Al has agreed to wear the Mitch Williams hat here so that some people could take a better shot. All right, go ahead, Mike.
Glen Macnow winds up the shot. Oh, a stick save by Morganti. Number 2 winds up, shoots. Glove save, Morganti. Macnow down to his 3rd shot in the first round. He winds, he shoots. It's a weak effort.
Schilling,
1 goal
you're
for
a
winner. Here
major
comes Schilling.
disappointment.
He's going to wind up. He shoots. Score! Morganti backs out of the pipes. Macnow to salvage his pride and self-respect. Shoots. Score! Through the 5-hole. Schilling's last effort. Oh, it's a kick save. But Schilling takes the lead at the end of round 2.
2-0 after 2 rounds. Let this be over soon, will you?
Morganti back in the pipes. Macnow needs a couple of goals here. He winds up. He shoots. Score!
Oh, there's one.
Macnow 2nd shot. Oh, it's a glove save.
This will be for the game.
This is the crucial shot. Hold on a second. Don't get nervous here. You got 1 shot for the tie. This is it. If you don't make the shot, Schilling is the winner, and you're humiliated on national TV. Ready to go? Here we go. Macnow skates up the right wing. He winds up. He shoots. Scores!
It's a
To
tie
tie
game.
it. We have a 1-shot overtime. You feel all right?
I feel this is a good look for me, yes.
Here he is, the lanky goalie from Flin Flon, Angelo Cataldi.
1 goal to win it, right? I have no shot.
A screenshot. All right, hold it. Here it is. Let him go. Here, Schilling whines. He needs one to win. He does! It's over! Kurt Schilling, magnificent effort. You haven't played a lot of hockey lately for contractual reasons. Yeah. But how'd you feel about this particular contest?
Well, it was a big win, big win. I felt like I came through when I had to come through, so, I did the things I had to do when it counted.
The legs in the last 2 minutes were swell?
Well, yeah, they felt all right. It was a question of how I was going to be able to hold up, but, I did all right in overtime.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Let's bring the loser in here, Glen Macnow. Glen,
the loser.
How did you feel about the competition?
I think it was a ripoff. When the goalies were even, I did fine. All of a sudden...
All right, let's go back to the booth. Let's go back to the booth. Let's get Cataldi in here, who gave up the game-winning shot, okay? The game-winning shot. Now, Ange, what's the deal? You didn't really look prepared for that last shot. What was the problem? Oh! It's a Schilling prank, ladies and gentlemen. He's famous for them. And well, how do you feel now anyway? I went to bed hoping not to fall asleep for fear I would lapse into one of these nightmares that brought me cold sweats. But I was powerless to stop it. I did fall asleep. Alas, I did have that nightmare. And I'm going to welcome you to my nightmare, my Mitch Williams nightmare. It started off innocently enough as I made a visit to my local Wawa.
Hello, Mike. Can I help you?
Everywhere I turned,
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
passing people on the street, going into my local bank, and even I saw members of the great sports debate panel in my dreams, my nightmare. There was Macnow, there was Morganti, and there was our own Angelo Cataldi. Suddenly, I woke, went to the bathroom, splashed my face with cold water, just to see that I hadn't turned into Mitch Williams. And there I was. It was me. I hadn't turned into Mitch Williams. Whew, that was a close one.
Okay, Al, the moment of truth. There's Howard Eskin steering you right down in the net. This is your ultimate dream.
This is the dream of every sports fan in the Delaware Valley. I get to bury a shot, and the only question is, do I hit him in the head, or do I hit him in the 5-hole? I think it's the same thing with Eskin, but I'm just got to decide which one to do it with. It'll go through either way. There's no question about it.
All right, Al, you all set to go?
Yeah, I'm all ready here. No problem at all. Puck's at center ice. I'm a little old, so I'm going to have to loosen up the legs, scoot around here, pick it up, and head toward that moron and decide exactly where I'm going to score on him.
Go ahead, Al. Take it away. Al Morganti now limbering up. Uh-oh. Problem with Al Morganti. He's look at this. Al, what's the matter? What happened here? What's wrong?
I think we got a little quad problem here.
Is this something you get all the time? What's happened here?
This is something that just hurts, and I don't think I'm going to waste my legs on Howard Eskin.
We need a pinch skater. Let's see if we got anybody else here. Hey, kid, come over here. Let's see who this kid is, man. This kid looks like he could skate a little bit. Okay, what's your name, sir?
Yucapeka.
You ever play any hockey?
Yeah.
Are you professional?
Yeah, professional.
Okay, do you want to, maybe you want to take a run. You want to see that guy way down there? You think you can do something with it?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you, just to see what kind of slap shot you got, take a shot at that puck against the boards there, all right? Yucapeka is the guy's name. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He just busted the puck in half.
No!
You're the greatest goaltender that ever lived. You are number one. Could we take a shot at you in the net here like
Sure,
they did with that World Cup thing? All right, come on out, and we're going to take a shot.
All right, Mike.
Oh, Bernie Pirano. The man never lost it, Al. Go ahead, let's see. You better chew one right into him, Al. You were never very tough on him. Oh, kicks one through.
You know, Al, I've always wanted to ask you this question. How could you do that to a Philadelphia icon, to a genuine hero of Philadelphia sports, humiliate Bernie Pirano?
I do not feel bad at all. It is nothing in my life that I was proud of because you'd forget, I grew up in Boston. In '74, I was a little hockey player in Boston rooting for the Bruins, and that guy stole the Stanley Cup. So I got him back for that first cup that they stole anyway.
Did he ever say anything to you? Was he mad?
No, I wasn't mad. I think he took it in stride. He doesn't see that well out of one eye anymore. But he
Oh, that's great.
You are a creep.
He took it well because Bernie Perrin is a great guy. Others don't take it quite as well. And what we're about to show you will blow your mind, all right? And all the time we've done this show, this is the thing that got us in by far the biggest trouble. This is unbelievable. It was right at the height of the Phillies' popularity in 1993. And they were about 30 games over 500, and we were doing our show at a mall. And we decided to hold a little skit there called The Trial of Jim Fregosi. Mike, why don't you pick it up? Because you got more trouble than any of us for this.
The reciprocals of this particular story affected me the next day. I was in the Phillies locker room. I had a fairly decent relationship with Jim Fregosi, so I went up to shake his hand like I did every day, and he said, "I'm not shaking your hand." And I was perplexed, and I said, "Well, why not?" He says, "You know why not." I had no idea. I found out a little later it was over the great sports debate, and I wasn't even on the show. Well, take a look.
And now, as part of our Great Sports Debate Baseball Spectacular, in our Coventry Mall courtyard, we present the trial of Jim Fregosi. And now, entering our studio, the prosecutor, Angelo Cataldi. For the defense, Glen Macnow. Representing our defendant, James Louis Fregosi, is Jayson Stark. And our judge today, the less than honorable Albert Morganti. They're all gathered here today to bring you the case of the muddling manager.
History is a window to the future. You've heard this many times before. I will prove it today.
No cliches in my
Jim
courtroom.
Fregosi is a stinking loser and has been a stinking loser throughout his managerial career. He has destroyed the careers of young, stud-type throwers and athletes, and I will prove today that what he's done in the past, he will do again this year with the Philadelphia Phillies. When I'm done here today, Jim Fregosi will be declared guilty of mismanagement of the Phillies.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and it is a good-looking jury we have here today, I'm going to show you today that Mr. Fregosi has taken unknown players, he has taken unproven pitchers, and he has molded them into a first-place organization. He has the unanimous support and respect of all his players.
Mr. Fregosi.
Yes.
When precisely in your recollection is the last time as a major league manager you have had a winning season?
This one.
Before this one?
It was 1979, sir.
1979. Any explanation for the 14-year interval between winning seasons, Mr. Fregosi?
I would like you to tell me about all the great teams I had in between.
I've wanted Jim Fregosi on the stand to answer this under oath my whole life. I get it now. Jim, when you were hired by the Phillies, that's a great question now. When you were hired by the Phillies and went into their booth as an announcer, was there any agreement that you might take over for Nick Leyva, say 2 weeks into the season? Under oath, Jim.
I resent
Under
that
oath.
question.
I object. I believe his time is up here.
He's using extra
He's
15
using my
seconds,
time.
which means you'll be 15 seconds shorter.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
For the benefit of all of us. Mr. Macnow, you will
Mr.
question
Fregosi, that imposter sham of an attorney came up here and asked you a lot of questions about destroying pitchers. He failed to mention two pitchers who I believe you coached in 1979 when you were the manager of the California Angels.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Nolan Ryan, Frank Tanana. What can you tell me about them, Mr. Fregosi?
Have you ever heard of Nolan Ryan and Frank Tanana? Both of those men are still starting in the big leagues today.
They need Nuprin.
And how many pitchers would you say from 14 seasons ago are still in the major leagues?
I would say very, very few, and very few certainly from the same state.
So, in fact, maybe you've added years and years to pitchers' careers.
I do not believe that I have harmed Nolan Ryan's career in any way.
Mr. Fregosi, what was the Phillies' record, say, before you got here, the 3 seasons before you got here?
They were 57 games under 500.
I'm sorry, could you say that a little louder?
57 games
under
500.
500. And what is the Phillies' record since you've been with this team?
5 games over 500.
5 games over 500. Would that be perhaps coincidental?
I will let the jury draw its own conclusions.
I would let that jury draw its own conclusions also.
The jury can't even spell, never mind draw. Go ahead. We're reaching near the end. I have 3 questions.
Wait a second.
I just question.
Your Honor. You're out of order.
I want to know some things. Why do you wear that silly jacket? How much do you weigh? And how many cigarettes do you smoke a day?
The point I've tried to make here is a point I hope you've all gotten, and you seem intelligent enough to grasp my point. My point is this.
What's your point?
Jim Fregosi uses players the way we use disposable cups. Curt Schilling finishes drinking, Curt is gone. Same thing happened with all the pitchers he used in Chicago. Jim Fregosi is a user and a discarder. He is a consumer, all right? On top of the fact that he doesn't know how to build a winner, he doesn't have the simple common sense that are required of us every day of our lives. Now, I see the 5 of you sitting up here in the jury right now, and I don't see anybody wearing a jacket. You know why that is? Because it's warm out here. It's like 85 degrees. I'm taking my jacket off now.
Please put it on.
Do you know why I'm doing that? Because it's warm. When it's 100 degrees out, I don't wear a jacket.
Mr. Cataldi cannot see past the nose on his face.
That's a long way. That's a man with vision.
Your Honor, by the way, before we leave, I just wanted to...
Thank you.
All right.
You have to come to a conclusion. We're not going to do this like a court of law where I send you in some room and you eat dinner. We don't have the money for the dinner. I'm going to ask you right now. You've heard Cataldi's argument. You've heard Macnow's argument. Guilty or not?
Jim Fregosi is not guilty.
Why?
Al, you got 30 seconds, babe.
He's brought something here for the last 10 years. You haven't seen that.
Boring. Fregosi?
Guilty.
Guilty. Fregosi?
Guilty.
Guilty. Fregosi?
Guilty.
Guilty. Fregosi?
Guilty.
5-1. Yeah! Yeah! Everybody up. Jim Fregosi, guilty is charged. When we return in August for the next great sports debate, you may indeed see the trial of Rich Kotite.
Well, that was pretty unbelievable. But you know what? Everybody thinks that Jim Fregosi has been in our crosshairs the most in the great sports debate. Not true at all. Al, tell them who our #1 target is.
Jim Fregosi has been treated like Mother Teresa compared to Rich Kotite. I don't know how many times. This guy might as well have just arrived every Sunday afternoon with a huge target on his back, and then Monday we are slinging those arrows.
Absolutely the biggest target. Mike, what do you think
I
about
got to tell you something. You people have been frauds. If there's one guy that's been consistent on Rich Kotite, it's been me. Matter of fact, they call me Mr. Consistency when it comes to Rich Kotite. Just take a look.
Suddenly people aren't putting him on the list anymore.
Now, you mean there's not going to be any more newspaper stories about a contract extension?
There may not be.
What's happened? What is Bill Lyon going to write for the rest of his life?
Mike, did you not on this very show 2 weeks ago demand a contract extension for Rich Kotite? Am I remembering that correctly?
That was the day that I had a little Jack Daniels.
A little bit. I think you might have. Are you retracting? You are retracting that now, right?
Absolutely, I'm retracting. He's out of here.
You're a big Kotite guy, and you think he's doing super, even though they've played actually rather poorly the last 4 games. I guess bottom line is all that matters, isn't it?
He'll be a guy judged on his record, which is the way most coaches are judged until you reach another level like a Sheil or whatever, and his record's pretty darn good.
Randall Cunningham is
Give me
reason
10 coaches
A
now.
for them winning.
Give me 10 coaches now that
Right
are better.
now.
Right now.
10 coaches.
Mr. Football. Go ahead.
I can't use Barry Switzer, that's for sure. I've killed him enough. George Seifert.
All right.
Bill Parcells.
Okay.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, please. Bill Belichick.
Oh, you didn't tell me you're going to do this to me.
The third one you failed.
What?
Bill Belichick's not in the top 10.
Dennis Green, I like better.
All right, I'll give you Dennis.
You're going to give me Dennis Green?
You haven't done your homework. I
What?
told you I was
Well, you
gonna ask
didn't.
you
No,
this
you
question.
didn't tell me. You sprung this on me.
You're the most he can
You've
out of
gotta-
this
I'm telling
team.
you, you've got to get on your knees right
Wait a
now
minute.
and say, "Hail to King Richie of Brooklyn."
Well,
I want
wait a
you to
minute.
say it right before you finish. I want you to say it.
You got to do it now,
Real man, you
okay?
say it.
I'm
Do
not.
it now, okay?
I'll tell you what. I will do it on December 6th on this show after we kick the Cowboys' butts. How's that?
Okay.
This looks like a team with no coach right now. Would you
Well,
agree
they had
with
a
that?
coach for 2 years.
Well, you
See,
saw
here's the
this.
thing.
What did
it's
you
all
say?
coming to the surface now. This guy, I'm tired of hearing the excuses about the injuries and all this crap.
Right.
This guy has been unable to win a game with the people he has, and he has enough people to win. They're pathetic. The confusion on the sidelines, the substitution pattern, this late in the season, it's a disgrace. His decision-making ability during the course of the game, the last play of the game. We were looking at the last play of the game. Zeke Brakowski calls it. He doesn't like the play. What's he do? He doesn't change it. He walks away. Is Rich Cote kidding me? Is he kidding us? Did you look at the record with Cunningham and without Cunningham?
Isn't that ironic?
All right, he's 16-6 as a head coach with Randall Cunningham as his quarterback. He's below 500 with Randall Cunningham. It's not that. How could this head coach actually admit that he's more comfortable without Randall Cunningham?
Right.
If Rich Kotite relented to Randall Cunningham, I'm his biggest fan.
Okay.
I'm his biggest fan because
But do
this
you
is what
think he
needed
did?
to be done. Do I think he did? I think maybe he did because I think that when he started off the game, he wanted to run the football and he ran an off-tackle play to Herschel Walker again to start the game. And there was some boos, and I think that he got a little nervous and he said, all right, let's go with what you have to say.
Hold on, I've just been handed something here. I just received this. Hold on for a second here. Buy 7, Jets nothing. That's another tough loss for Rich
They left
Kotite.
nothing in the locker room.
Just want to give a personal word of thanks to the great folks at Price Airport Auto Mall, Newcastle, Delaware, right across the street from the Newcastle Airport. They've been great supporters of the great sports debate. And I tell you, sometimes we have a hard time figuring out who watches us outside this studio. But the people in Delaware really turn out for us, and we're proud of that. So if you're in the neighborhood, stop on by. Thanks again, folks, at Price Airport Auto Mall.
You know, one of the strange things about doing a show just a few hours before it appears is that sometimes stories break just as we're doing the taping of the show. And that's happened a couple of times. Mike, the most recent was the O.J. Simpson case.
Oh, a very dramatic moment. We sat around, stopped the taping, and actually watched television to find out about the O.J. verdict. When it came down, Angelo had a reaction like I've never seen before. He just went berserk.
All right, not my proudest moment. We'll show you in a second. We were actually in a car dealership for that. I think the one that I'll remember the most, though, was the day that Eric Lindros was declared a flyer by the arbitrator, Larry Bertuzzi. We actually had, in the corner of this studio over here, we set up a little radio. We could barely get the reception for it, and we really couldn't do our show till we knew if Lindros was a flyer or a ranger. And now you were predicting the wrong way on that.
Well, nobody knew. It was a coin flip, and you had to assume, boy, they're really going to want this kid in New York and have the Rangers win a Stanley Cup, and he's going to get all the attention there. So all the way down, we're listening to people make their predictions, whether Eric Lindros is coming here or there. And the coin went up in the air and is going round and round. Then it finally lands when we're right here. And, of course, we took it in such great stride.
Obviously, the big story is the verdict on O.J. Simpson, and a shocker it was. O.J. Simpson, not guilty of anything, free to go. Stan, what's your opinion?
I'm disappointed, I'm dismayed, I'm devastated. What were those people watching for almost a year? Did they not hear the judge say, take your time, consider all the evidence? That's the responsibility of a jury. I don't care how long they were sequestered. They didn't have to bail out of there in such a hurry. They had to consider both sides of the evidence, and obviously they didn't.
Well, I thought throughout that he was guilty, but I think if you're going to take anything out of this, and what I will take out is I am white, and I grew up in middle-class America, and I don't know what it's like to grow up any other way. And I think what we've learned is how mistreated people have been, how untrusting people are of police forces and people in positions of power. And it's sad that it had to come to something like this, but something has to be morally corrupt and wrong to a degree that we don't know for this to have happened.
I would be comfortable if I looked at that trial and was convinced that the reasonable doubt concept got to the jury.
Yeah.
But that's not the card Johnny Cochran played. He played the race card, and as an attorney, I guess I have a problem, not with his victory, because attorneys are taught to win, but as an American, the reasonable doubt standard, if he proved it properly, I think I would have no problem with it. I just, it's distasteful the other way.
This is the biggest disgrace I've ever witnessed with my own eyes. I don't care what the hell those people were looking at for a 9-month trial, but many of them had their minds made up long before they ever went into any jury room. And I am affronted by it. Justice wasn't served. It's a huge step back for the legal system of this country. And O.J. Simpson can have all the smiles he wants on his face. He knows and we know what really happened. We witnessed it. What is the shame of this country is that we watched something that apparently the people in the jury box didn't watch. And we just found out about this minutes ago. And we have actually brought to tape this out of sequence. And I cannot even begin to describe to you the reaction of the people in this room when we just got the decision. It is something we will live with in infamy for the rest of our lives. I have never, Michael, you know me, I have never been this angry before about anything I've ever seen.
And you know,
those people are a disgrace.
Right, so the people
they ought to idiot-proof the jury box because they picked 12 morons to decide the fate of O.J. Simpson. And the prosecution must have had, I don't know what the hell they were thinking about when they put those 12 blithering morons in the box. Who gets them? Because right now it's in the hands of an arbitrator. He's heard both sides. The lawyer now has to decide whether the Flyers had a deal first, handshake deal, or the Rangers, who have a written deal, second.
Well,
which way does it go?
First of all, nobody's seen the Rangers' written deal. Neil Smith, the GM of the Rangers, keeps going, I have something on paper, I have something on paper. Nobody knows what it is.
Dry cleaning bill.
Yeah, nobody knows what it is. It boils down to who the arbitrator believes, and I got to say it's 50-50. I hate to be wishy-washy.
50-50. No commitment. Al, who do you think?
I think it's going to boil down to who the arbitrator believes, and I believe if you lie in there, and I think that's commonplace, I think the Rangers get him on the basis of Quebec.
This is so stupid.
But you know what?
Jason, get involved in this. You two guys.
No, wait a second.
You've been out in Montreal for all this time. You can't take a position on an issue like this.
I took a position. I told you in New York.
The verdict is finally in. Eric Lindros is a member of... No way. The Philadelphia Flyers. Feast your eyes for a second here. Just hold this up. Just take a very good look. Because you're going to be seeing a lot of this in the next 10 to 15 years in this city. Eric Lindros, the most coveted young player in hockey today, not long ago, was granted to the Philadelphia Flyers after a long dispute.
It looked like the easy decision was to go to the Rangers. It was the easy decision.
The key to the whole thing, and we talked about this last week, but the key to the whole case in trying to prove whether the Flyers actually had a deal with Quebec was the call placed by the Flyers moments before the draft to Eric Lindros.
People have said for the last week, oh, you're overstating what this kid is. You know, he's another good rookie.
Right.
This kid is the next, I think. I've seen him play. You've seen him play. I think he's the next in the line of players that goes from Gordie Howe to Bobby Orr to Gretzky to Lemieux to this kid.
You know, we've met a lot of great friends at the Great Sports Debate, and none greater than Joe Spadaro and all the nice people over at World Chevrolet Geo in Westville, New Jersey. We've done a show a month there for a couple of years now, met some terrific people, very supportive. They have really become one of our main stops on a tour that we do all the time. So World Chevrolet Geo and Joe Spadaro, we want to thank you from the Great Sports Debate. You know, a funny thing happened on the Great Sports Debate after a year or so in the studio. People started to request, seeing all this weird stuff going on, they started to request to be part of an audience. But we didn't really have the facility to do it in a studio. So we decided to take it out on the road. We began with what amounted to a mall tour. And like once a month, we'd hit some of the malls in the area. And then we branched out, Mike. We did high schools, and what are some of the other things that we did?
We did a show with the kids, Discovery Zone show, where a bunch of kids running around, balls flying over our heads. It was great television.
That was the worst experience in my television life, as they say. Little kids running through, screaming, mothers not chasing them, and they should have been chasing them. I wanted to get the Coke machine there and put like tranquilizers crushed up in there, and have these kids laid out sleeping. They were the most annoying.
There he is, Dad of the Year. That's what I love about him.
It's awful.
He's the
I'll tell you the other thing, Michael. We went to camp. Remember summer camp?
Oh, absolutely. Camp Quebec, way out in the hinterlands.
Right. In fact, why don't we start with that? We'll show you some of the crazy places we've done this show.
2 weeks of camp, and it's evident the Eagles are guided by divine intervention. St. Jeffrey of Laurie.
Danny Jackson is the Phillies' best pitcher. He's also a free agent on a team going nowhere. Is it time for the Phillies to trade their ace?
Is it time for Randall Cunningham to wake up to a monster season? If he doesn't have one, is he out of town?
Come on, we have a show to do. Great sports debate.
Welcome to the Great Sports Debate, a weekly discussion of the most compelling issues in sports. This is a very special summer edition. We are at Camp Quebec in Schwenksville, PA, with a great group of young people. We'll give you a hand right at the top of our show. I'm your host, Angelo Cataldi. We'll be discussing these issues and more next in a special show from the Plymouth Meeting Mall on the Great Sports Debate.
The Dallas Mavericks are 3-36. The worst record ever in the NBA is the Sixers, 9-73. Do you think Dallas is going to do worse than them?
I don't know, but you're really good.
Yeah,
Come on
son,
up here.
son,
You're better than the
what
guy
do you
who
do
left.
normally on
Come
Tuesdays?
Get
son?
over here.
We'd like you to be a panelist. Have him go up there.
You
Yes.
get up there.
This guy has
All right.
major host potential.
You're
really
better than the guy
you
who
are.
left. Here, take the
Definitely
steps.
better
We don't
than
need
you.
a lawsuit. Sit down.
We'll go to our third contestant. And what do you got there?
Binoculars.
Explain what these things are.
Well, you unscrew the eye cap and you stick like liquid in there or any kind of beer or something, and you can like sneak it into the games.
Hold on. A dispute is broken out.
That's not sports related. That has nothing to do with the sport.
How old are you, son? How old are you?
12.
12 years old, and he was able to ascertain we had a drinking crowd here tonight. Welcome to a special edition of the Great Sports Debate here at Merv Griffin's Resorts in beautiful Atlantic City. And what a great spot we are today. We are right here in a boxing ring in Merv Griffin's. And a little later on, Mike and I, we're going to travel down to the gaming tables. Right, Mike? Check that out a little bit.
I got a wad of cash in my pocket.
Me too.
You have your usual Holy Communion, Mike.
No, we don't. Let me tell you, I'm going to show you a few things about rolling some dice. I'm ready, babe. Oh, I love this game.
Change 1,000.
Change 1,000. Good luck.
Change $1, please.
$1?
Yes, $1.
$1, okay. $1, sir.
All right.
Good luck with that.
Are you rolling the dice?
I'm rolling the dice.
Well,
Make
in
your
that case,
bet.
I'm playing against you. I got $1,000 on the don't pass card.
Now, all I have to do is roll a 7. Is that right, Mike?
I think you're going to win, but you're a
baby.
loser.
Here we go, pal. Give me those dice right now. I'm ready, babe. Oh, Dee. I'll bet you don't get high rollers like us here very often, do you?
Not too often.
All right,
Good
it's
luck
going to
with
be
that.
exciting.
It's an easy bet.
Oh,
Give me
7.
my money now, please.
Ooh, Papa wants a new pair of shoes.
7 winner. Winner 7.
Yes! Pay up right here, pay up. Oh, yeah. Hey, Mike, want to borrow some money?
Boy.
We're at the Holiday Inn at the stadium in Philadelphia.
And we thought, well, look at the great crowd we get today. We are actually taping this just before the home opener at the Vet this afternoon. And wow, what a turnout. We had one other questioner here. What happened to him? Whoa, wait a minute. Here he is, yes. So the question, sir?
Is he going to give this in reggae?
So what's the name?
Tony from South Philly. I got a question for Al.
Yes.
Al, is it Lindros or Lindros?
I want to point out to everybody right at the top of our show, we are at North Penn High School. I have a little trouble with that name, but we're at North Penn High School, and the appearance of the Great Sports Debate here has been made possible through the Northern Montgomery County Drug and Alcohol Task Force and the efforts of Michael and Nancy Becker, and also State Senator Honorable Ed Hall. And I should point out, too, that we're like the before part of this drug program. This is what happens when things don't work out all that well.
Hey, look what I found in the crowd, guys.
What is this?
All right, yes. Apparently the sex education seminar's next week.
Hey, Mike, where the hell are we?
Damn if I know. Wait a minute. I see a dweeby guy over by the satellite dish. Maybe he knows.
I'm your host, Angelo Cataldi. We'll be discussing these issues and lots more next on the Great Sports Debate. Welcome to the Great Sports Debate, and welcome to my home. I'm right here in Medford, New Jersey, for a special summer edition of the Great Sports Debate. I want to introduce my wife and my pride and joy, the new member of the family here. Let's get Vinny the Bunny in here. Here comes Vinny the Bunny. Hi, Lynn, come on, sit down right here. And my daughter, too. That's my daughter, Meredith. If you can get right behind us there, that's Meredith.
Wave, Meredith.
Right, and this here is Vinny the Bunny. Take a look at this little guy. Is he not the greatest?
Carrot.
And he's being real good. Let's try a little bit of this for him. All right. You know, for all the criticism that the Great Sports Debate has had over the years, the one thing nobody could ever say is that this is a group here, us three certainly, that are in any way sexist. Do you agree with that, Michael?
Absolutely not. I absolutely agree with you. We've accommodated women many times on this show, and we invite more participation.
What do we figure we've had, Al? 200-300 women in the time we've been on the show?
Oh, might be approaching 1,000. You might have to put a comma in there for the number. And we always want them there for what they say, what they bring to the show, all the input they can give.
That's right. A lot of people use women as mere baubles on a
That's
set. Right. Not us in any way. And we're proud now to show you some of the women who've been on the Great Sports Debate. And Howard, that's a beautiful suit you have on today. What's that noise? What's that music? What is that? Where have I heard that music before? Mike, have you heard that music any time before?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know about this, but
oh my God.
I love your suit.
thank you. I got nice underwear on today, too.
Really?
Hey, Howard.
They are, but I have to change them.
Are we ready with the last question?
Ready to go. Now, let
Here
me
we
just
go.
say something.
Yes, Mike.
Denise hasn't contributed a whit to that team.
Well,
okay?
that's your opinion. The term Super Bowl was coined by A, Pete Rozelle, B, Vince Lombardi, C, Joe Namath, D, Lamar Hunt. Denise, I believe you were first.
Lamar Hunt?
That is correct! No, that's a slam dunk. It's time for your Weasel of the Week. Wait a minute. Excuse me, Chief Proprietor Marsha Brown apparently is, what's happening here, Marsha? What's going on? Take your time with that, Marsha. No hurry. Yeah, what's going on, Marsha?
I'm going to personally throw out my Weasel of the Week, Al Morganti. Al Morganti, you're out of here. How dare you dress like this?
He's not dressed properly?
You're out of here.
All right, Al, you're not dressed properly. Yeah, it's a jacket thing. Hold on, Al.
Get out of here.
Strapped in there. Marsha, you come on and sit down. Al, you're evicted from the premises. See you later. All right, Al has been evicted. And Al receives his first applause ever on his show. Howard, who you got for Weasel of the Week?
Marsha, I'd be happy to put that microphone on for you next time.
In your dreams. That's right. Tony Bruno is, how about Tony Bruno? Is 43 years old today. Come on in here, girls. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
in, and this is what we got you.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
birthday.
Thank you.
Blow
Thank
the
you.
candles out.
Thank you.
That's very nice.
Oh,
this is
yeah.
from me.
43 years old. Hey, man, she's putting lipstick on my hand.
All right, girls, thank you very much. Thank you, girls.
What's the salt and pepper for? Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, yes. Hey.
I am actually impressed that you grabbed the right cupcakes.
You know, I can't believe this. I just forgot. It's my birthday today, too. Come back.
You know what the weirdest thing is on this great sports debate, guys?
What's
the
that?
weirdest thing in 5 years that we've ever had on this show.
What?
We had dogs. For a long time on this show, was the only panel show in the history of television with regular dogs appearing on it. And now I want to, they're your dogs, right?
Yes.
Started as Fenway, then Harley and Panda came in, all right? Can you explain how you decided one day to bring your dog, Fenway, to the set?
Well, it was a Weasel of the Week episode. I was watching a football game on a Saturday afternoon when that went down to the wire, and I flip around. I'm jumping on the remote control. It's near the end of the game. Something big's about to happen. Fenway has the remote control, puts it down, sits on it, and the TV starts just changing channel after channel after channel. I never see the ending. So I made Fenway the Weasel of the Week. He was such a smash, we brought him back over and over again.
Did we ever? They became, there was a period there with so many letters from people that we began to think that we were basically doing a dog show. And
we
more
were.
people cared about, no, that's true. But they thought more people were talking about the dogs than about us.
Because the dogs made more sense than we did. And I've always been curious, Al, why did you stop bringing the dogs? I kind of missed the slobber on my pants.
Well, you can drool on yourself as well as anybody, but the reason that Fenway stopped coming is a winter storm, and he slipped on the ice, and he tore an ACL or whatever they have in their knees, and he had to go to rehab. Then Fenway had another partner called Harley. There were 2 dogs in the house. Then Harley had a daughter called Panda, and to bring 1 wasn't fair, and to bring 3 was chaos, so only on special occasions do we crank them out anymore.
Well, why don't we show the people some of the crazy stuff that Al's dogs did?
Rush the band.
Mr. Morganti has arrived. Mr. Morganti has arrived. Oh, it's just that. That way. That way. Morganti. That way. Mr. Morganti, your script for your approval. Mr. Morganti. That way.
Water? Would you like a biscuit? Makeup's ready.
Right this way. Right there to the studio. Here. Right this way, Mr. Morganti.
We had Kurt Schilling on.
Yes.
Kurt Schilling came on, and he told us about these dogs he had.
Rottweilers.
Rottweilers.
Those 2 dumb Rottweilers?
Imagine having 2
Are you
dogs
kidding
on
me?
the set.
Rottweilers are dumber than rocks. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't get them to walk.
Al,
What?
it's funny you should talk about
no.
Kurt Schilling and those Rottweilers, because I happen to have Kurt Schilling and those Rottweilers
Oh.
right here. Once again.
They're in uniform.
Whoa! Look at this. They even dress up for the show, Al.
These are
All right.
classy dogs.
This one back here is Rodney, the big one, and the little one who's getting big is Slider.
Rodney's interested in coffee.
Slider's the one that was in Sports Illustrated.
Right, he's the one with the
You
attitude.
see, Al?
Split finger, but you dumped him when you.
No.
Kurt, these are not dangerous dogs.
No, they're not. It depends, really.
We've pretty much established we do not need Fenway Morganti here on the show. A dumb dog that's never really approached his potential. We saw other dogs here today. We'll take another look at them now, argue the relative merits. How about the Schilling Rottweilers, boys?
You got to love those
Rodney
Rottweilers.
and Slider.
Well, you compare these dogs to Fenway, right? Certainly they're much better dressed than Fenway. Fenway doesn't even dress.
I think that maybe we're looking for a kinder, gentler sports debate.
Yeah.
And the Rottweilers, to me, don't really fit that
Well,
mold.
who does fit the mold? My dog, Lucky Cataldi? I would think yes. Lucky Cataldi,
Lucky
the first,
Cataldi. How
the
about
very first handshake by a dog on our show, the first trick performed by a dog ever on our show, by my own Lucky Cataldi.
This is true, Al.
This also would keep stardom in the family. I'm the biggest star of the show.
Which is there. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
We talked. Fenway's not on the show because he's got an attitude.
Clueless.
Okay.
Right.
You are the guy here with the attitude. If we get your dumb dog in here, we have Attitude City. I vote no.
So who do you like?
I endorse Kirby, the stray from the SPCA.
The dog's a mongrel.
He comes from a humble background.
Yeah, you know something? This dog has gotten a lot of attention in the past. I maintain this dog's popularity is on the ebb, and I think I can prove it.
How?
Last year we had a cliffhanger. This year we'll have a cliffhanger. We'll let the people vote. And we have, of course, 2 new additions. We haven't seen much of them this year. We have them now. First, you have news hound Fenway Morganti.
Actually, that's Harley.
Oh, that's Harley? Harley Morganti, who is the cub reporter, and the news hound Fenway Morganti. Both of them here, and both of them showing great life. One hand, the Yamaguchi hand, the Mike Jordan hand. Okay, we ready? The 2 items. He goes the Yamaguchi route.
Unbelievable.
Yet another example of why Michael Jordan is losing his appeal to the American public. And we have with us today Fenway Morganti, Harley Morganti, and also Panda Morganti. These really is the brain thrust behind the Morganti family.
I actually want to expand on something. Keep those dogs quiet. How can I expand on anything with those mutts around here? Actually, what is good business? Jerry Jones bought a football team when it wasn't worth the money he paid for it. So now he had some vision, some foresight that he could do something with that team. What's wrong with being a good businessman, selling your product, getting what you can for your product, and shutting up those dogs?
Just a note of thanks to some friends of the great sports debate, Winner Lincoln Mercury and Winner Airport Valet. I use that airport a lot. Very convenient, less than $5 a day. They'll take care of your car. You've got no parking hassles. Nice people, sports fans, big friends of the great sports debate down at Winner Lincoln Mercury, Winner Airport Valet.
All right, guys, it's time to get serious now. This has been a tremendous fun for all of us, but we got to get down to the greatest moment we ever had on the show. And Michael, you've done a lot of shows on the Great Sports Debate. What is your favorite moment?
Well, first of all, I want to say that this is a hell of a lot of fun to do. A lot of people think that this is a pre-produced type of thing. We basically just show up and let it fly, and that's been the beauty of the Great Sports Debate for me. And some of the special moments involving me on this show, the final word segment, where we just look into the camera and do some odd things, where we don't have to follow the lead of this anal retentive man, Angelo Cataldi. You can just kind of wing it. One of my favorite targets in the final word has been my close personal friend, Al Morganti. And here's a sample of some of the things I've done to Al on the Great Sports Debate. Final word. With the lack of hockey on TV, I've been filling most of my TV time watching Nickelodeon. One of my favorite shows, the Munsters. There's something about the Munsters I didn't even know. And it combines kind of like Munsters and hockey. So if we have that clip, let's just go to it. Pay special attention to the monitor right here, fellas. I had no idea that Al Morganti played the part all these years. It's an amazing thing. It's true. I refer to last week's interview he did with Christy Todd Whitman, where Al's looking at her and he's like mentally undressing her. All right, forget about the fact that Christy Todd Whitman, the governor of New Jersey, looks like David Brenner. So I figured something was up, okay? Through the miracle of modern technology, we have the interview. This is what Al was actually seeing as he's looking at the governor. Now, here's the interview. Now, he pan away. Now, look at Al. Now, check out Al. He's mentally undressing her. Here's what he sees. There. It's a Hooters girl. He's got a Hooters girl in his mind. There it is. There's a professional announcer, if I ever saw one. It's our pal, Al Morganti.
Oh, man. I believe that the governor's husband's asked for a tape of that, which he uses every night.
I believe that. Oh, please don't say that. You know, Al, one of the things, if people have ever watched a Great Sports Debate, they know that of all the people that have been on this show, Al is far and away the most sentimental. And I'll bet you've got that kind of a moment as your favorite.
Well, yes, I think back and I'm sentimental about the Great Sports Debate. Mostly I do some other TV stuff, and this is unique in that, like Mike says, it's very informal. There's no IFB, one of those things in your ear where the director telling you, wrap it up, go quicker, slow down, edit this, edit that. You get to say what you want at your own pace. And if you want to drag on and on like I am now, there's nothing they can do about it. But the moments I like best are the end of the show when you get to do the final words. And as you know, I've got kind of a wacky perspective on sports. I like it when I get right down and dirty and attack the real meaty issues of sports. So I pick up the Morning Bugle this morning, and I'm looking through a couple of the sections, and there's a picture of a young man in a skirt. And the picture doesn't include bagpipes, which has me alarmed. Thinking something's wrong here, especially since he's playing an athletic event. He's playing for a women's field hockey team, and these stupid people that run this system say even if the guy's allowed on the team, he has to wear a skirt. Totally and completely absurd. If you're going to let the kid play, let him wear sweatpants. Beyond that, what are the women even doing wearing skirts? It's ridiculous. Women want to be taken seriously and they go running around in skirts. Wear sweatpants, wear shorts. And then you keep going a little bit beyond. I go watch women's lacrosse. Why don't they wear gloves? The men wear gloves so they don't bash their hands and get their fingers all bent in. But the women have to be dainty little flowers and not wear gloves and get their hands wrecked. It's completely nuts. You want to go to the next level? Get some common sense. Let the guy wear sweatpants, put them on yourself, and put on some hockey gloves.
Let me tell you something. You are looking at the Caucasian Randall Cunningham. There he is right here.
Anyway, going to Rutgers, I'm watching that and I'm thinking they should not have a football program, Division I, just like Temple shouldn't have a Division I football program. But I have the solution for Temple. They drop football, go and play club football, get into the Spectrum next year when the Flyers move over to the new building, and start a hockey program. Because in 5 years, that sport's going to be past baseball nationally. It's not going to cost that much to get it going, and they can actually become powerful in a sport. There's my suggestion. Get rid of football, start hockey at Temple, move into the Spectrum, and start the wheels rolling.
As usual, Al, very compelling commentary. All right, before I give you my favorite moment, I want to say something that echoes the remarks of these two people. This show over more than 5 years has pretty much ruined my life. Let me explain why. Yes, I've been a celebrity for a long, long time, but I was not a celebrity that anyone ever could recognize because I did radio, and whoever listened, no one cared. And then suddenly we did the Great Sports Debate, and I'd go in a mall, and I'd be surrounded by people with drool on their chins and other stuff like that, and nice people too. But it was like all of a sudden my anonymity was gone. People knew who I was. And actually, it's kind of fun, if you want me to be honest about it, because then you can't pretend that you're somebody, which, not really that. But I want to tell you about our favorite moment, all right? My favorite moment came end of the first season. We were all sitting around one day and said, we need a cliffhanger. You know, like Dallas was a big show then, and Dynasty. They all had cliffhangers. We needed a cliffhanger for the end of the first season. And then we decided, hey, why don't we shoot one of us? And you'll see what happened after that. Watch.
I'm seriously aggravated, and I'm not just saying that, all right? I've carried these guys for 34 weeks on this show. 34 weeks. Without me, there is no show. There's only one star in it. Isn't that dumb dog? It's me. The fact of the matter is that each of these guys has not made the big contribution. What is Jayson Stark's big contribution? He takes out an envelope every week. Wow, that might have been marginally funny the first time. The next 33, who cares? Who cares about that? Mike Missanelli, right? We don't have him on too often because he has very little to say that contributes to the show. We let him on occasionally, and he's Mr. Props. He's always coming in with some stick man drawing annoying. Al's performance pretty much stands on its own. This is unbelievable. This guy has done nothing on this show but sit there and bring a dog in. His dog becomes more famous than he does. Why do you think that is? And then you get to the dog, all right? I am sick and tired of this stupid dog constantly getting in the way of our own fame and celebrity on this show and making it homey. This is nothing more than a...
I'm Lieutenant Murphy from the CBI. I'm looking for Fenway Morganti.
The CBI, what's that?
It's the Canine Bureau of Investigation. And we have a search warrant for Fenway Morganti and the attempted murder of Angelo Cataldi in the Great Sports Debate.
Oh my gosh, search warrant. Well, I suppose you're going to want to see him then.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, he just got done his bath and his manicure. He usually naps around this time of day. He's back in his suite.
Well, ma'am, just the facts. I need to see Fenway.
Okay, come on back.
Is this the suspect?
You know, I don't see how you can consider him a suspect when there was a human hand holding that gun.
Ma'am, we have a search warrant. We need to search his premises.
Well, then go ahead.
Aha! Just as we suspected. Fenway Morganti, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of Angelo Cataldi of the great sports debate. You have the right to remain silent. Any bark you utter will be used against you in a court of law. Fenway Morganti, you have to come with me. On June 5th, 1991, Fenway Morganti was indicted for the attempted murder of Angelo Cataldi on the great sports debate. He pleaded guilty and was given a 4-month sentence in the Canine Bureau of Investigation holding facility. He is eligible for parole in 3 weeks. Let this be a lesson to all of you.
Free Fenway! Free Fenway! Free Fenway! Free Fenway! Free Fenway! Free Fenway! Free.
So there you have it, some of the great moments of 5 years on the great sports debate. But we shouldn't get out of here without thanking a few people, Michael, that have been a big part of what we've done here for all these years. I know one is PRISM. PRISM has given us a forum for this, and they have been terrific people. They've really given us a chance to do what we want to do.
Oh, absolutely. If it wasn't for the support of PRISM, we'd
Right.
just be average schmoes on the street.
Right, which is actually what we are anyway, but they've been terrific with us. And also, I think we should point out that CCI Communications, where we did the show for just about the entire 5 years now, they've been terrific friends to us.
Absolutely. We knew nothing. They came in, they set it up for us, directed us, made us look like not as much fools as we should have looked like, made us look good when we had no right looking good.
Absolutely right, Al. And last but certainly not least, we have to thank you. You've been the people that have supported the show so long that somehow we've stayed in business through all these years. And for that support, you get our pledge. We'll keep being ridiculous for years and years to come, as long as we can find somebody to run our shows. But we thank you all for watching, and we hope you'll keep watching. Take care. That's what it looked like behind us. Lenny Dykstra, before he even spat, we were on this show. And now, after over 200 issues, I got to do this again. You people screwed up. Now I know what's going to happen. We're going to get it all screwed up, and you're going to get, in about 2 minutes, you're going to be getting aggravated. All right? Because you have to be Mr. Director with the goddamn feet up and the jeans on.
Okay, get ready.
Stop it. Come on, huh? Would you stop it?
I didn't do it.
Lily!
Here we go. And in 3, 2, 3 minutes.
Because it was a fight. Okay,
Just shake.
it was a screaming.
Come in like shaking your head like you don't believe it. That'll cover anything instead of like roaring laughter, like that kind of thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, because we might have to...
Oh, my God. I don't even know what Ken picked yet, and it's amazing.
The radio, that was Lindros.
We had the radio. We couldn't even get that. Remember, we couldn't even get reception. We were pulling the radio out where we could get it on WIP near the door. So we parked it up against the door. You're going to tell that story.
Oh, okay.
And you had been predicting that they weren't getting it.
I did?
You were here. Were you here that day?
Yeah.
You were
I
here that
remember
day,
that.
right? You don't remember? Then I'll tell that part. And
I remember that we left the station and we were waiting to see who...
I'll start it
I
then.
remember to
all
see
right?
if the
What was his
radio
name,
over there.
Bertoli?
Bertuzzi.
Larry Bertuzzi. Okay. So I'll lead it to you. All right, I'll kind of set the scene a little bit, and then you can say, yeah, and I didn't even believe they were going to get him. I thought the Rangers were going to get him.
Okay.
And then this decision came down, and we went crazy.
I laughed like hell, Alan. It was a riot.
What was?
Lynn Dalton's face on Christy Whitman.
Oh, that's what we're coming off.
Yes, we're coming on that right now. Can you imagine what that's like?
It'd be great for Mr. Whitman.
Say that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Here we go. 3, 2.
You will.
Me?
You're saying the line. That's the line. That's the damn line. You just said it.
Well, I thought you would come back, then I'd say it.
No, you're going to say it.
Okay.
You come right back with that line.
No problem.
All right.
Then it doesn't go to you at all. It just goes to me.
Yeah, and then
it does go
I'll
to you.
set you up.
Okay.
I'll set you up.
All right.